Everyone, welcome to my Laravel e-commerce project. In this video, I want to explain to you how we can create relationship between roles and user and how we can create roles for users. This relation needs the many-to-many relationship because the user has many rules, the rules has many users. In this case, we need to define role user table. For all of the many-to-many relationship, we need the one additional relationship table like this: user, role user, and this relationship table just include relation fields, as you can see. Okay, in this case, we need to create first we need to create our roles. The another table we need to create role user table. Okay, let's create our role table. With migration file. We need the enter role name. Auto increment enter role name. The next, I need to create a role user table. Okay, we apply role and user model, create our model, and we have create role and we created role and user model. We need the at role user. We don't have anything because we just have role ID and user ID. This about relation. PHP artisan. Okay, it's created for us. Now we need to create relation between user and role. For user, we have relation with roles. Be sure that our model defined for our project. And for role also, belongs to many. Belongs to many and belongs to many. These many to many relationship. At official documentation, many to many relationship, it is defined like this. For we have a user table, roles table, and role user table that related to each other. And for definition also, as you can see, the roles, and for role we have definition like this. Okay, with this definition we created our roles, many-to-many relation between user and roles. Okay, now we need to create our roles, and we need to define rules, and we need to relate our rule and user together at the admin panel. Okay, we need to add roles in our database. I don't want to because we have some fixed roles in our project. I don't want to admin panel add, delete, update rules. Just for role tables, I can add my table. One is admin, another one is user, another one, for example, I have sale stuff, shipping department, manager. It's up to okay. I have a lot of roles in my project. You can define for your own project. Okay, I want to manage my users at resource admin panel. As you can see, I don't have any we have some theme, but I didn't try. I want to show you the without themes user permission with the basic role user something. How can I handle my users that easily? Okay, I think I can copy and paste this. For user. Make admin user controller with the resource controller admin. Why I created with admin user controller? Because maybe I have user controller for my project because I have a user already. I have user. I don't want to mix. I don't want to duplicate user controller in my project. Admin user controller. Where is my user? I have admin user area. Okay. I need to create my user roots. Admin user roots. Okay. Maybe I can define also edit, but now I don't want to edit any. Okay. As you can see, we repeated everything it's saying. For my index, I can use any index. Data. What we have for user. Column. We have name. I want to change user list. User list. Name. Name. Email. Okay. Now status. I want to keep name. Email subject. Now I don't have any rule. I can use a rule. Name. I can do this. Maybe not. Maybe I need to use in desire for each because the user has too much roles. Yes, I don't have. Yes, we need the. It's not about that. We need login. I didn't. Uh, because we need the username right here. Does not exist. Why does not exist? Because we didn't include at the web import. Okay, you see. Can I write right here? Name is not. Is name. But we don't have relation maybe that where is my user rules? For example, I want to add for first user first rules, for example. For many to many, we cannot get rules like this. We need to create for each. Look in this area. We can see all of our rules in this area. How we can see this? Like this. It is not user rule, it's recursive rules. I think this definition is working. I hope. is want to find role user table. Doesn't exist. Select role, into role user. We have role users. Let me change. Okay, what was wrong about this situation? At relationship, it is expect role and user. The user and role together is expect role and just user. But when we created automatically this, it is created for us role users with s, as you can see here. If file is different, we need to define our file in for each relation model. For user also, we need to define our relationship table. Also for rules, we need to define relationship files. Okay, because expect like this, but we create it with the role users. Maybe at the migration time we need to change. Maybe we have to change at the creating time, and we need to create without s, just role and user without s. If we created from the different from the main word of the table, we need to define for each table. As you can see, we have more. In this case, we can see all of our relation. For example, I want to add for this user also another role. How I can do this? I want to see my rules. I have also user. User number is 2. And my user for my user ID 1, I want to add second role. Second role is user. And I want to update this. When I create my rule, you see, I have an admin and user roles. Also, you can, for user, for example, another users, for example, I have 4, number ID 4, the user ID 4. I can add for number, I want to check my role 5. Okay. You see, this is also manager. Okay, how can I manage? How can I define these roles in admin panel? How can I do this? Okay, I want to manage this situation in my show page. First, I need to find my template. View, admin, user, at the show area. User detail, user data, name at surname is name surname, email, roles. In this case is data roles. Okay, we can show another information, is up to you. I just want to focus on my management. But in this area, I want to add admin user add role. Okay. Okay. For show, I want to send my roles table in this area. I want to show. I want to select, for selecting these roles, I want to send my roles data in this area. How can I send this? At the show area, show ID, uh, my get with my is find. Okay, find ID, role, okay, we need to send roles, show blade, is roles as a role name in the option, and role ID. Okay, if I want to update role. I want to add role in my web user. Add role ID. Add role. Add role. Okay. User controller. At the store, I can use this. I open the very file. I need to just ID. New role user. Okay. Data user ID. Equal is the ID that we sent. Unit descent name is should be role ID. Okay, name is role ID because we sent role ID. Role ID. And we need to send user show same place. Admin user show ID. Okay. Because we sent, let me explain to you again. We have a, if I want to okay, the add role to user, I want to send my post admin user add role. I get my roles. I create all of my roles in selection, and I have submit button. If I send this to this function, first is going to add role with the user ID. and is come to here with this. It is user ID. We need to add this data to role user model. User ID is ID that we sent from the form. The role ID is data that we sent from the selected form. The after save information we send to user show again. Okay, I hope it's working. It's updated at rows email data. Right. Okay, I think it looks good. I am to refresh this. John doesn't have any roles. Okay. It is open the message. We need to change something at index. User show. User show. We need to refresh again because something we changed in this area. For John, it is John information, does not have any roles. This is all of our rules. Admin rule. Okay, it is created automatically created at update at. For this, we need to escape from the update and create it timestamp. I need to find solution. Okay, I solved this problem. I want to add, for example, it's sale, admin and sale department, and also manager. How can I add this data without timestamp? When I check the timestamps, if you don't want to use timestamp in your model, you need to define like this, the false timestamp false in your model. At the role user, I want to add some record at the role user table without timestamps. In this case, I have to define like this in my model. As you can see, public timestamp is false. After this definition, I can add timestamp in my project. Okay, let's continue. You have I have some in this area. I have some rules in this area. How can I delete these rules? I want to delete some rules from this area. I want to show in this area. I want to delete. I can delete something from here, or I can delete something from. I can delete from here, but from here is going to better than the list area. Okay, I want to do something for delete at the show. This is my rules. I want to get delete. I want to use this. can just use this. Admin user destroy role. It is role ID. It is not record set ID, role ID, but this destroy need the two parameters. The one is user ID. The first should be user ID. The another is role ID. The one is from data. The another is from the role. Let me check, but I don't destroy rule. I want to define my, because without rule it doesn't work. Without definition root it doesn't work. Add not, it is destroy rule. The first user ID and second is role ID. Destroy role, user ID and role ID. Role user, okay, I need to find, because we don't have role ID. We need to find role ID and user ID at the same place. User ID, role ID together. Where okay, I need to fix this problem. Okay, fine, I found it. Delete relation data. For example, we have a here we have an admin and manager. I want to delete manager. As you can see, I deleted manager. When I refresh this page, you can see that I don't have any manager. Okay, how can I do this? As you know, we have a button. We have a delete button, admin user destroy role. We send user ID and role ID together with confirmation message. At the in this area, destroy rule. Actually, we have user ID. Okay, First, I get user information by user ID, by find user ID, and with this relation, I detach from the rules with this parameter. I focused on this. With this table, I focus on my user. Then I delete the rules from the relation, because we have a relation with users, because relation, these rules is deleted with this definition. Where is that our definition? I want to show you, because maybe is that we have rules. The rules has relation with the role, and table name is role user. Is delete everything with this definition at the role that we sent role ID. With this definition. Okay, detach. With this definition, we can delete from the relation file record that we sent user ID and relation ID. Find user with user ID and delete role with the role ID from the roles and user table. And we resend again to admin and user. Okay. I want to show the Julia. I want to give to Julia the user. Okay. All of the user has a permission, has a roles about our project. Okay, you can add your relation, your rules with the many-to-many relationship between role table and user table in the role and user table relation table. We can list like this, and we can show all of the rules, and you can delete each one you want to add, or you can add more in this list. At the next video, I want to check some permission with user roles. Okay, thank you for watching. See you in the next video.